We see Danny Rand and Colleen Wing as they're running from a pair of attackers when she screams, having been shot. Tumbling down a cliff, they land at a standstill at the bottom. One of the attackers is ecstatic, having taken their quarry down, when his partner wants to check the bodies to make sure. However, the first attacker, though, sees an oncoming blizzard and knows that even if they're only wounded, the harsh weather will finish them off as the two leave. Listening as the men leave, Iron Fist checks on Colleen, who informs him that the bullet grazed her head but that she'll be alright. As he carries her, though, she begins staggering and falls unconscious. Taking stock of the situation, Danny sees the storm will arrive soon, and even his training won't help them once it's there. Wishing the men had come after them, as he would have been able to easily defeat them among the rocks, he picks her up and heads towards a weather shack Colleen had mentioned was across the valley as he begins thinking of the previous day and how on his way home was thinking of Misty Night. However, he was attacked from behind and, retaliating, kicks the mysterious foe to buy some time, only to see it did nothing and is struck again when he's pulled against the mysterious man. Pulling Iron Fist closer, the pair begin glowing and Danny feels as though his very soul is being destroyed and violently fights to break free. On the ground, the man is pleased as Rand asks who he is and is merely told that he's his executioner. Confused, as the villain could have easily killed him, he wonders at how much he knew and whether he was from Kunlun when he reaches the shack. Kicking in the locked door, they see that the place has been destroyed and stripped of everything as Colleen bemoans the fact that they'll freeze to death. However, Danny is confident as the place will keep away the wind and snow, as he reminds her of the mind meld that they shared and how they can use his training to keep themselves warm. Recalling the events of the previous day again, Rand had put aside figuring out who the mystery man was to meet Colleen, as she urgently needed to see him. Arriving, he learns that she needs help protecting a lawyer, Jaren Hogarth, as they go to get her the right clothes for where they're going. Afterwards, they boarded a plane which took them into the Rockies, where upon exiting they were immediately kidnapped by a group of unknown men and were taken to a chalet. Once there, the two are greeted by the leader, which Colleen recognizes as Sabretooth, much to his surprise, as she recounts his reputation. He then tells her that he's after Hogarth, as he warns her not to make him angry lest he scratches her eyes out, as he orders them locked up and that they'll be taken with him. Danny, seeing that the guards are focused on Colleen, makes his move and the two free themselves, attacking the captors and then heading to save Hogarth. Unfortunately, they quickly run into Sabretooth, who swipes at Iron Fist, but the hero ducks, and coming back up, decks the villain, allowing the two to escape on a nearby snowmobile as Sabretooth shouts for them to be brought back dead or alive. Back to the current time, two guards have tracked the heroes to the snow shack as they move to reclaim their targets, worried of failure after seeing what Sabretooth did to the previous two who left them. Before they can do anything though, they're knocked out as Iron Fist and Colleen take their suits. Danny then asks why they're after Jaren as Colleen reveals that he was investigating money disappearing from his company as they head towards Sabretooth's base to rescue Hogarth. Reaching the chalet, it's just before daybreak and they execute the plan they came up with as they split up. Rand heads towards Sabretooth, who's gloating over Jaren when the villain's instincts kick in and looks at the approaching man, but before he can act, hears gunshots. Looking over, he sees that Wing has freed Jaren's staff and armed them so they can fight back. Turning back, he screams at Danny, knowing he's an imposter, as he swipes and rips the disguise open, then tearing the mask off as he asks his name, wanting to know who he's going to kill. Delivering a swift strike, Iron Fist is shocked at how quick his opponent is, noting how sharp his claws are as Sabretooth moves back in, and Danny barely dodges the next slash. Outside, Colleen and the others destroy the ship to prevent anyone from escaping, and the explosion destroys the window, shattering Iron Fist with glass as he dives for Jaren to protect him and sees Sabretooth escaping. Following after him, he tries to figure out his plan as they had already checked behind the building and found no means to run. Reaching the outside, he's confident that he'll win when the sun crests the horizon, reflecting off the miles of brilliant white snow and blinding Iron Fist. Sabretooth pops up behind him, taking advantage of the hero's snow blindness, as he tells them that though it's only temporary, he won't live to recover. Receiving a slash across the chest, Rand knows that if he could see, it would be an easy fight as he attempts a punch, but misses as Sabretooth gloats that he's only a few feet away. With no choice left, he turns to use the Iron Fist when he feels it's more difficult than ever before to build up, and feeling that he'll be left defenseless if he uses it, extinguishes the power as he dives out of the way of another vicious slash which still connects with his hip. Hitting the ground, he recalls his training of how to use his other senses and, forcing himself to relax, listens to his surroundings until he manages to hear Sabretooth's approach. Reacting quickly, he delivers a powerful kick to the villain. Pressing his advantage, he throws him onto his back, and enraged, Sabretooth charges in a fury to strike, which provides Iron Fist with an even easier time of finding him. Throwing him once again, the leader rises, still intent on winning, when Danny strikes again, telling him that the fight's over. Victorious over Sabretooth, he detects someone approaching behind him and, swinging, barely misses Colleen. As he tells her of his temporary blindness, she replies to him that both Sabretooth and his guards have been defeated. With a sobering thought, he tells her that had his opponent known martial arts, he likely would have died as they head inside out of the cold.